Hello all. Well, I've been listening to the news and reading just like everybody else about the abuse that the cops are putting on the U.S. citizens. And it really hurts me to think that a city would defund the cops. A society is so dependent on cops. If there were not cops, you would not have societies. You would have absolute pandemonium chaos. Most people wouldn't live past their teens to 20s because that's the way it was before cops. It was horrible. Constant fighting, arguing, bickering. Who's got this? Who's got that? Then we finally got a group of people that would protect us from ourselves. Here in California, about every 15, 20 years, the cops have to be retrained. It's called sensitivity training to bring them up to standards. And that usually works. You get about 20 years before the next issue comes up and the cops are going at it. Not that they haven't been going at it all along. It's just that it gets worse and worse as time goes on. Now, I couldn't believe that I saw another protester with his eyes shot out, and then another here in the U.S. And I said, what? Boy, mosquitoes. Where'd these all come from? I know what to do with those. You have to stay on the move. But anyway, so I said, this is too many people with their eyes shot out. We've seen so many protests in my lifetime that, 3 or even more is just ridiculous in a 1-month period. That's deliberate. So I said, well, let's look this up. And I found this, that Chile was shooting protesters in the eye deliberately. It was a tactic they were using in 2019. Well, that's something the Orange Man would definitely get his teeth into and spread it around to his police departments. So is that why we're seeing such an increase in people's eyes being shot out? Protesting something that is absolutely necessary, that makes this country what it is, are the protesters. It's not the people that just sit on their ass and take it. It's the ones that get out and cause change. How come that isn't focusing me? There you go, camera. Well, this thing's, I tell you, it's had a long life. A very easy life. It hasn't been abused or anything, but so anyway, I looked into that and I said, and it makes sense that the Orange Man would give such an order to shoot the eyes of protesters. I tell you. And it's not like it's not obvious that this is now considered a tactic of the U.S. Police Department. So then we come back to the original. What happens when we defund the police department? Won't the cops be the first ones out stealing and banging and head smashing because they've had all this training? And what about the military? Boy, we're really in a screwed place now, huh? We're just trying to protest, and of course, immediately the white supremacists came out and started looting and getting everybody else involved. They apparently had the cars ready and brought the looters over and let them have it. And it's amazing that started the cops shooting protesters in the eye when the protests were peaceful. It wasn't the protests that weren't peaceful, it was the agitators. And that has been very clear since we haven't seen any agitators now in a couple days. This is the first time we've seen so much blood on the U.S. streets. Well, we did see it once before, the first Civil War of the U.S. There was blood everywhere then, and we're nowhere near that, but we can't be too far away now. But at least now the lines are being drawn a little bit more closely. It's the fascist and the white supremacists against everyone else. Good luck with that. This may be the shortest little skirmishes we've ever had, considering the minute the pressure comes on, they disappear. Even with their big guns. So how do you guys feel about having the cops disappear altogether, or defunded, or their equipment taken away? I'm all for that. I think there are way too many of these armored vehicles, and there's too much of a SWAT mentality. And the younger kids just love a challenge to go and bother some cops somewhere and have them chase them around. You need some more technology to stop that without having to do all this dangerous, crazy chasing and poking tires out of vehicles. What is that all about? Yes, every time there's a protest, apparently, the cops go around to all the nearby cars and poke all the tires out. Here's the pictures. And you can see they even go into parking lots, like grocery store parking lots, and poke out the tires. If you want to know what police brutality looks like, that's what it looks like. Bullets in the eye, poked out tires, excessive roughness, pushing people over and smashing their head up against the ground. And then the president of the U.S. comes out and said it's a hoax. He says that blood we saw was a hoax. The guy that's in intensive care in the hospital, he's still there, by the way, still alive. But he's a hoax. How can we take this orange man any longer? How can you guys take it? I don't understand it. Why he's not on his ass. But he's still in power. I don't know how. We're going to go after the cops and leave him in there. Doesn't make sense. There are quite a few demanding his removal from office, or that he step down peacefully. Something tells me the orange man would never step down peacefully. That's not his way. He loves conflict and fighting and dysfunctionality. So, I definitely do appreciate everybody's comments on the last video. It was good conversation about meat eating and whether fish are considered meat or not. They sort of changed the meaning of meat by giving it all these different names, so it's not so bad. Oh, you're just fishing. How can that be harmful to anybody? Well, as many have said on my videos, that having a hook stuck in your cheek and then dragging you through the water and bringing you out in the air for suffocation with a hook in your mouth. It's sick, people. It's sick. I appreciate all the ups, downs, and new subscribers, and definitely the comments. But in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, and many others, eating meat is a very hideous thing to do.